Me boss Sammy Yaa, I think he's been doing well with what he does. Now, the kind time I ubusa Sammy question no. Menya answer to the question.
Dear way.
Ubusa ne so muka say National Theatre no mo be akosi say. Okasa be brave, but I never got the answer to the question.
80%.
Me busa, but odi kan ba be kasa no kan be about obi say o show boa na obi diso we say wo hwe dia waye. Kwater kwase obema ontuma ye tie ni din na Mahama
Obia.
Mahama Obia, I mean ex-president Mahama Obia Osheba Odiso na oye. Na in 2012, I think se neba be discuss creative art manifesto ntino. Ma sheda to mebo aken kan bi. 2012, and President Mahama Shebo say we will rehabilitate abandoned cultural centers for national culture. 2024 manifesto ewum. Na uko weni na ucha kompona ukohwe wechia art center is not in good shape since that time. Nothing has been done. Kumasi Center for National Arts, President Mahama Shebo so be rehabilitate. Ye seen a long time and it's evident say here refurbishment be brave. National Theatre. President Mahama say the government has secured funding from Turkish Export and Import Bank to put up a second national theatre in Kumasi to promote arts in the country. President John Mahama, who made this known, said the proposed national theatre will accommodate a larger audience than the one in Accra. Nansenya NDC for Ekoshia Creative Arts Kumasi. And President Mahama sa Bobio say yebeye National Theatre for Kumasi. This was in 2012 manifesto. 2024 Yasaba bekabi enti se samika se obisha uboa obeye na President Mahama shebo oye o deliver ni na. I beg to differ kakra.
Scanned by Akufa.
Pacho nyabotere mame. I think say na obi abe to me making the point say be ya obi ndin ko obi.
Eya time.
Yes.
Ujina floor.
Enti medie oka se obi be shebo a clearly no politicians have taken this sector for a ride for a long time. Cool. Clearly no politicians have disrespected this sector for a very, very long time. But Empress unim de esre kaka. One will say yeba to obey. Every politician is running to creative to trumpet their message. I will use a classic example. United Showbiz is the biggest entertainment show in Ghana. And yet arguable. Obia peso obaha senya na brother Samika sa or true mu say yamana kwenya oba beche because yenim say ha na Ghana etie. And this platform was built. This platform was built on the back and sweat of creative people. Father Dixon, Ike, production, camera, Obia, Arnold, Bulldog. Yeah, you work creative arts money na. You play a role. No, that is how this platform was built. And every politician would love to use this platform to trumpet their message. Look at how creative people, to me, capture the manifesto of politicians in one song. And Nasi has done that beautifully, capturing the whole manifesto of NDC4. Sebio, and you need to me quite chirama. One more manifesto no cry and kwasao to say dia enyom ekono. Enti creative art industry no here. Okay. But politicians are taking them for a ride. Adada ye buso mo question ani e dia fa ni akfa ye kotem anso ni akofa kaswa. Na ya wida asem na ye ntumi sinipi. 2012 President Mahama ka say obesi National Theatre wo Kumasi. And you ask say National Theatre na yesi ewe. But I didn't get an answer. When we were here with Ola and Ancorex. Yes, see, IMF and a buy and but we said we have secured the fund. Ye de kwa kusi. But yen to me and yen de busan wasama. politicians saying to me my straight answer because with that. It is so bad they say they don't respect our sector enough to even make one of our own the leader of our sector.
One of our own,
Debbie, from honorable. What did you say? Maybe or your deputy.
It's a cow person.
Make it point. And now we share most of entertainment conversations, entertainment platforms. Look at what they are doing to Honorable Kwekumanti. People are saying he's ineffective. Or to me, but see, Empress, my main kind law we ma. Who call a year the article? Hold on. Article 97 of Deputy Minister's Law. Yatropefe said the president may, in consultation with the Minister of State and with prior approval of Parliament, appoint one or more deputy ministers to assist the minister in performance of his functions. It's not just a deputy ministers no more. They act on authority of their bosses. Boss.
It's without the boss, no.
Of course, because you cannot and act alone on your own and say you are doing this. There is a structure there, and so this whole conversation, creative for because I'm using Kwekumanti as an example because then again, Romeo Kratz and Hakada. And but politicians don't even respect us enough to make us the leaders of our own sectors. And we've seen it played out in Parliament. Our politicians.
So you think some
fire and then we will hold on. He was deputy. Not a deputy. She was deputy. Exactly. Most of the creative arts she was deputy. Boo, my research. Boo, and I make us what I say. Deputy. All the creative people need now. We check your money. How do we say creative arts? Then we go and pick. Obia yet sector no sebio on shedantia papa say one belly and at the end of the day we blame the deputy when there is a leader. I don't understand it. Like
can I explain?
No, let me finish. I don't understand. Until your best politicians they say I grown on the creative arts sector and because na me kano omo who say you here Empress who said creative arts industry is very important, and I like the fact that when we are having conversations now, the year count. Me to me, I can say for a long time in a while, no, it is refreshing, kakra, that we get people like this to address the creative sector because they know that when we speak, it goes far. And when they want to trumpet their message, it's your best to say when they make some of these promises and stuff, they have to deliver. If you don't deliver and then you come and then we ask you and then it's like that is not what we are asking.
Blame.
What's your say? Una will see ube we didn't na wanye. Ade na wonye ye. Me patro de make cannot say Empress. My last question, Mr. Creative Arts Fund.
Who baby say question?
Wait. No, what is his own?
That also when we show red card pen me.
Say who kasa?
Yellow card mom. And then do red. Continue.
Creative Empress Creative Arts Fund, of course, last one. Mr. Make us a question one answer. Creative Arts Fund, and so in 2012, NDC Manifesto, NDC promised that they will facilitate access to finance and export market for products of the creative industry. You can say you be a Creative Arts Fund. 2012 no man afia question we Yasaba bebedu 2024. We are still talking about Creative Arts Fund. With regards to the Creative Arts Fund, there may person me who say fund no meaning say most of the funds say can you project say okay sika say na ye theater I creative. Oh Empress, you see I always believe say sometimes when your politicians they need to give us timelines, figures, and this so that we can hold them accountable.
Na se obi na wo so nti omo ba enkofo no omo ba be
me trese omo ka so omo be ye pen. Omo ba ben mu no omo ntumi anye. Na say yes aba be power na yes aka say the same thing na ye be sa ya.
Sifo. Vida.
A lot of stations there. A lot of stations there. It be your DSTV, but they are still on multi-TV.
Okay.
It be free to air, but they are still on multi-TV.
Yeah, they need free to air.
So if you are on multi-TV, just dedicated. You see, the stations will tell you something. So maybe NDC program. Now, you're going to say youth, you're going to say GBC and our UTV never. Another station can say for the mere fact that their logo is on, we are not comfortable picking it.
Okay.
They want a neutral platform. What am I saying? Also, you are not only looking for a channel to show movies and music videos, but you're also looking for a platform that people can use to stream their own content and events, and special events. So I'm saying is any mutually exclusive. Strengthening GBC is one, but you can have another. Yes, Namdodo and Selfine. Another especially dedicated for this purpose. And you know, but the work can you know. Me also na metre medical manifesto committee and you be making sure say the be adwuma because nyansa ni ba ko 14 and ba ko for so nchire down for ye nyina ye to adwene na esua free especially those who have been in this industry before say beboa then you know about there no you see the context of masemo amekan about kwatrekwase of the mount to my TND no is not about manifesto promises. I'm not naive. Political party be anywhere still fulfilling the manifesto, you know.
True.
And you call America now far even the manifesto of the Democrats or the Republicans, none of them can fulfill 100%. So you can pick any manifesto of any government and still get an unfulfilled promise. That in itself an interest will be a control and will be nyanokafo. By your own crofwa, almost shebo any manifesto bukra. Omutimi shebo. Now omuankasa boss abeka se boshe we dia ya anwe ho me kura menya we. I give you a typical example. But we call Cape Coast. Was the good people of Cape Coast. I have good news for you. We are building, not we will build. We are building an ultra-modern harbor and airports in Cape Coast. Akufo-Addo call Cape Coast an interview. No, you know, your flag bearer. No, or say we never even contemplated a harbor for the people of Cape Coast because harbor water there, and it was a fishing landing site. When your unfulfilled manifesto promise, I am true. Obi catch us there. In 18 months, Krobia ni Ghana ubenya nsuo anaja nine problema. Na any manifesto mu eyentro. You see, Obi catch us say yakọ cabinet you say asphalt route and fata Ghana. Oh yeah, na say. It is here ba concrete roads nko. Now anya concrete road no atrema kra we ngu concrete atrema kra wo ba bia eyentro. Obi catch as a developing country. Onim say yet 20 years ago, entimi nso I was see a couple of so. But when him catch say we don't have to borrow for rules. You just have to toll the rules and you'll be able to raise money to do it. These are not manifesto promises. Let's get it manifesto. So it is okay. You can look. As for the Creative Arts Fund, I have to double check because to the best of my knowledge, it was not in the 2012
I wanted
manifesto.
to know, sir.
No party, even if the culture say, Bana will fulfill 100% of our manifesto promises. No, because
within the 4 years.
Within the 4 years, some you can start. If you may have the intention, you can start, but you can have difficulties along the way, practical difficulties, and you will not be able to fulfill it. Or they say within the 4 years. And there were even some manifesto promises maybe the first term of the government it will moment but the second term they are able to do it. It will be brisa. But when I was talking about Bawumia and the MPP, I was not just saying say because of unfulfilled promises. It is because of the lofty promises, most of which were not even in their manifesto. I don't think but they said it on platforms. What they are saying? They said it on platforms. And clearly things that are unrealistic. Any idea almost say yeah, but yeah. Are you getting me? So you heard the difference between the two. Now, President Mahama, it is a fair criticism to say, you said that you will build a theater, you didn't build it. Why not? I know that Turkish funding thing didn't go through. Okay, that is one thing. But you see, President Mahama has been consistent. After 2012, 2013, 2020 manifesto, he was consistent. He still spoke about it. 2024, he still spoke about it.
Yeah.
And I know, sir, if he had gotten the mandate in 2020, it would have become a reality. ASR, the funding challenge we had, but even with that, our sister should also be fair to give credit where credit is due. So, Kumase theater na maso by lease or your attic, am I? Or your Accra, you can say a tourist information center, and on the hub for the creative arts ministry and agency. You can say agency, creative arts. That is a monument. That is a legacy.
Okay.
You can't brush that aside. So why ye be? Benya de ni si na ni su ni nya no timi ye. So timi ye ni nyina akra ka menye so beka so back. The reason why he's coming back is because he concedes that there is an unfinished agenda. Can't you see, sir? Because the John Mahama they see na ni su nyina timi ye ya ka oba back abaye de. But the entia oba back and say na ni su ade hunu no de na si na ni su no enye ni nyina and utimi wie. Ebi wa ya consider, ebi wa e sikasem, ebi wa eyembre. But Omanpenyi bia wunya second term ka ho a e na nyema ni bebre wo wa when to be answer the first term no kwa utimi ye den e the second term bitimi nua ba no fair criticism, but I will tell her say unya John Mahama mujidie, and for John Mahama it is fair to believe him because the legacy no yet tangible. So we nyema John Mahama aye ni Kumasi a National Theatre de yemu ketwa obi aye $268 million market.
Facts.
The best market in the whole of West Africa, we come say. Na National Theatre and Obeka se wonyana.
Sister.
Just
no, it's fair. No. But let me just land so that she can.
I'm just saying,
sister. No, you can't talk.
Respect.
Please. You can't.
So continue to.
You can't because all right on the app. Me got 3.
Don't worry. Relax. So I'm saying that it's a fair constructive criticism to say that there were some. It's a fair constructive criticism to say that there were some of the manifesto promises that were not fulfilled, but there were some that were fulfilled.
But you see,
some that I didn't even talk about. Maybe. Okay. What you say, Mahama?
No. Say, I mean, we are not going into the manifesto. But also, who can be say?
MC. When we that, but the when you,
for example, and you may be another kasaba.
Hey, breathing.
And you may be another kasaba film. Kwame Kasai about what our antecedents did with Ghana Film Company near the other. But you saw the law for the films industry pass here. The Films Authority I established here. And you know, sir, we actually trained young people in filmmaking. There are a lot of Kumawu stars who were beneficiaries. Trained over 200 of them. When you say actors, I come once and Mahama Breso or my Maslok Momokas.
Facts.
To pay on credit.
Facts.
Okay.
Or Momokas and pay you for none a woman. Or no one casa ma buy you triaka and a cambo. And other actors, he can buy we buy on be hassle or more jackas in the facts. Dear John Mama, I am a creative ass. Yes, I can at the other sign. But you see, I just want to. And no. Maybe 30 seconds, and I think it's fair to allow her to talk. So I'm saying that
I agree with you.
Yeah, because so I'm saying that in 30 seconds, I'm landing so that you come in.
Sure.
Still, but he's done a lot, and I know he will do even more.
Right. It is not true. Where is the data? Data being here, they compensate as at 20 say no. Not creative arts industry growth you say. And this year no creative industry growth nice because I be a Kwame A+ said this current government this December to remember among other things and also baba be creative arts in mukina. So when NDC is saying creative arts ato siomukra, and then you say you build a national theatre, we can't talk about that because you build an art. Then you cannot also say that MPP so creative art ato siomukra because it's not a fact.
Okay. So is it a new subject?
Let
me quickly address Number one.
You read, no?
Number one,
you see, you can say creative arts atonsiomwa. You can say bibi atonsiomwa. Nye data say statistic we na we 12%.
Honorable.
Look, my sister. Let me deal with it. You see, I like it. I mean, I like criticism, so it's good. I like divergence and disagreement. But the point is this. And now more creative arts in the moon is here to consume. And yes, I'm making facts.
How man no makai.
Thank you.
Yeah, when we talk about Empress, when we talk about creative arts, when we talk about creative arts, it's not just about December to remember.
Okay.
Ghana, the December has always been a holiday destination.
And plus it's tourism.
Exactly. December.
Who you okay?
I'm fine.
Yeah. Semi sama yellow bill
Off the page.
Thank you.
Yeah. So I'm saying is Ghana, December to remember. So our back Ghana December it's been here for a long time.
Okay.
But no cresa buy we buy and omashimukina, which is good. You give credit where credit is due.
Okay.
But you cannot equate that to Ubia Wesi Attic. Okay. You cannot equate that to the kind of achievements I'm about. So for the want of time, I don't want to run through them again. You can't equate it. That pales into insignificance when you compare that with the investment at NDC. Obi for the first time, I could crew Sika 2 million, I'm a creative ass. I could crew 2 million, I'm a music guy. What sounds like a ministry for creative arts? Why a 1% tourism development levy? They are there now buying way up here in terms of funding for tourism and creative arts. It can even come close to that.
Policy.
What? Obi a tourism act, a tourism development authority. So you cannot just use December to remember, which was there already, but maybe they have upgraded it, which is good, to come and compare that record. I know you're number one. Number two, you can say creative arts are tools you more. And yet data and one year they can. Number one, I see you know creative arts near the achieve. Ghana CD try net is Ghana CD try. Or more we just see Nika tree cabro for anyway. Drama na way.
But
I told you that.
Yeah.
I told you I considered. So it's been on that downward slope for a long time. I've told you that. But me say my sister should not be defensive and say we say I told you because and I was honest to concede banyom toa. I think that side we are doing well. But about cinematography, about the film industry, about comedy, concert party, drama, those things, if you compare it to what it used to be, I told you. Okay. Let's call it spade a spade. And only those in the sector, they will tell you that. And fair criticism, but I think, say, already John Mahama, any NDC as a party, I am for creative arts. I am right and justified to say, based on that solid, proven track record, you can trust us to deliver and to uplift the creative arts industry. Yeah.
And December festivities na ye no. Huge. Yeah, dear so you can say you the tunes near. You can't push it down the carpet like you just did. Say attic so on faso na we so on faso we so on faso say attic so on faso a sa festivities ya na sa adwumadi na twinkofo na ba amometimi aba attic obebusa say me fa hia na Ghana tourist ade we wa metimi akwakohwe bi now ye ka say industry na titia pansam ade ba kwa kan strike me was theater drama na wo say atonsuom no and say yenua Latif Abubakar na say ya wako Spain with 5 hours with Mario who say yenua ashokomo na eko digimedie wo Spain say yenua George Kwe hwen sisia na Uncle Ebo White hwen ya obedi same ho yaw for saying say theater na atonsuom because despite the akosu ni na no do ti akra nya play onya ne fair share wetimi a stage play on one acting woman akopie place anya play back place ahodo
chese dos
wakwa ntino de me person ka obe kan say ebia mu wo bibia mo de ba be hyemu kena anase mu osike bia mo de to onom dia ama cause theater ebia na why busy your campaign but theater ne pa there the few names are holding it down akonanima it is worth noting uka say ehon no atonsuma me stress so utwe ehon ne san
you talking about national theater?
No, I'm talking about theater in industry. No, a flourish pa yet na de bia bomb abaso and George Kwe, Uncle Ebo White, Latif Abubakar are just a few names I can mention. Industry, even what University of Ghana School of Performing Arts is doing in the space, Charlie, it is worth mentioning. It's a holiday. Me say obe chiasa na say audition bia we dey be ka ho. Now moving on, no, I just want to know, say Black Star experience, is it a remodeled beyond the return na? Yeah, Anna, because ye pano say ye fashion, say ye culinary month ni adena. Ye wo Ghana month we know say bosume UTV hakra titi no. Wo hwe set ni so a ye de aduaba ne niema sisi ha. We promote Ghana for a full month. And no, Yebeka said it was unprecedented because ye culture that the manifesto now must say Ghana Day be war outside Ghana ha mo be ye sini ni ade. But I just want to know, is the Black Star experience and is it a remodeled beyond the return and a more day? But is it the case to say ye per se ye clear dino na ye hu ni say an NDC initiative into na ye friend the Black Star experience no na Film Village? We've had this discussion several times. There's a problem with siting of sa Film Village they be a bon watch de kuma would force say one no mo the center of Ghana sininti ye from Bambisi honum ebi so pray say be a de kwa Accra na other regions ne so a ebeboa anye bia mo position on siting of sa Film Village na eye den na because you know say Accra aye choked into sa mo policy siting any ehun diary na asori pen as we speak egusu wo wa ye twe how are you going to resolve that? Now okay, about incentives maybe sir, is it free money for the creatives? Because say bio baby aboko first can free say your bosia I was see a century and back. Are you telling the creatives say a free money and send to yake BMO ana say wo dey bo mo bosia no mo dey share judgment because Empress uti we me ma osika na me say free money ewo how I be this sika na mo make sure say e bosia na fa koye adwuma na emfaso mbra na fa betuaka. You know how you go about it. It's incentives no on stating it clear e free money ye dey check na ka yin na yen ko register bi ni NG bi boy ata so ana we want to know pension scheme me kan ade we wo mo manifesto mu na yen na nim say Empress adwuma ye sebi ye won tento wo kakra busumi bi aso a ye betew na me bi sase mo so mo be ma nkofo pension ye adwuma ye enye constant say every month bia aketua bi specified amount bi da ho a e bia ye tew because wo salary ye beti kakra dia to ba we na bi wo a 1 month 2 months no bi nya adwuma da enti say ye ni clearly defined salary wo ye adwuma ye circles me bi sase pensions no deductions no how mo be ye no sen ana say e photo a ya bo ato o say wanyini aduru fie bia ye chewsika free ana be just because wo ye space ni mu a omo man enti ase because omo nya adwuma e bi kra impanifo ni bi wo kapo na ayeden de bia yete say yen fan to bo akakra ma na yen fan so masene so e yade e me there but then I want to know how it's going to be done. now meter now all can say ye be changing no. Is it for only industries? Because okay say be a fashion house be na be a because at the some be a 24-hour economy. I can imagine say adwumayefo nyina across the country you see it's so bia meter because and the car say utia via the app now oh my Dr. Baumia Sikan are we playing some logic necessary una we introduce bibia you tie bibia kakra ba obotoma na is that what we're saying me per se or clarify honum royalties e yade ehu hia your login systems okay say apart from enyum ni sini no creatives no wo sheda ho ya ho odin ye ba na omo di adwini omo draw na me hu omo manifesto one time say mo be puti mo ho together na matter some of the fine arts na omo draw no. My question is ye torie ba ko na sen ho a what becomes of the artist in the works are obeye because what about we the
10 questions.
no say also cast cast no ko anymore until they maybe see here ya or say we say better 10 questions
Mono. One model was the 200, but overall in filmmaking we train over 4,000 people. Yeah, and the data is there. Yes. Also to respond to an issue you raised about the manifesto promise in 2012 manifesto about say renovate
National Theatre.
Yes, Sunyani Mikrum was renovated by John Mahama under his first term. That was a fulfillment of that. We didn't do all, but at least we started with that. So that is the point I'm making.
Okay.
So once you see that the promise has been made, and the panas fitiasi to one or more, you should know say KB unyamra and KB akubiwi. So that is also another information. Now, was it beyond the return is big? I shouldn't push it down. I mean, pushing it down. It is big. We've given credit to them, so it's a good thing. But
that's our biggest festival.
Beyond the return. Originally, it was to promote your slavery heritage and history. And now, I start say good, but they said do stage there about December. Look at it very carefully.
Was a monthly and
oh no, but it was like something that the government was doing throughout the year.
Oh, okay.
That was how it was launched, beyond the return. And it was supposed to bring diasporans to Ghana. It was not supposed to just be a December affair. What do I say? Then there is a December to remember or what, which is also good. But that, like I said, has always been the case. They have marketed it. Now they have attracted new events, international events, which we didn't used to have, which is good. What do I say? But let's not also create the impression that this is the first time I'm buying Abagana. We had Panifest.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And Panifest was that big.
Exactly.
Is it still there?
Oh, Panifest, I'm buying by and yeah, over the years I've performed. But in the days of Panifest was a big initiative that brought a lot of freedom fighters, Pan-Africanists, and diasporans to Ghana. A lot. And if we are to go through the list of key people who came to Ghana, nipe buy any or best settle or how my businesses through Panifesta into the grand kind. What do I say? So that is something that we must acknowledge. They've done well with Beyond the Return, which has now become
a year of return.
Like you can say year of return, Beyond the Return, and now about a December affair. What do I say? There is something good there, but enya de was so bia and no a chain the kind of things we are talking about.
A free move ban is a costro. Say
no, but me say you cannot compare that to a political tradition. SC Accra International Conference Center, SC National Theatre, SC most of the centers for national culture. Aye Ghana Tourism Authority, aye Ghana Tourism Act, aye Ghana film industry, aye all the things I'm talking about, aye copyright regulation, all the things. So what I say, but compare and contrast and look at the magnitude. That is the point. Then also Black Star experience, you know, yeah the Baba be yeah the Baba replace Beyond the Return and a Year of Return. No, Beyond the Return. Or Year of Return, no, initially was just about slavery. In the Nobel BB to say under Black Star experience, Pan-African Month.
Okay.
But beyond Pan-African Month, you are going to have
a Ghana Film Festival and Awards month. And no one can't beyond the return year of return. The more there is nothing in it promoting film industry. There is nothing in it promoting the textile and fashion industry per se. There is nothing promoting the culinary. So more of which is good, but Black Star experience will be broad.
March,
which is good. What I say, which is good, but it's just a Black Star experience will be broad, a bit encompassing all the various facets of the tourism and creative arts industry. And every month we are celebrating something. There are shows, there are concerts, there are exhibitions, there are programs for the private sector. It's just the bars will be there. I'll be able to say yes, the creative arts, so then the issue of having a excited film industry, I know they are but in policy implementation, we have stakeholder consultations. If you engage stakeholders, normally based on the stakeholders, will take the decision. But I know, and that is why I don't want to be a sole voice saying that this is a decision. The decision has not been made. It will be made in consultation with the various stakeholders. And pension, me say seed money. Also, a banker say a pension for buying the seed money through Cocoa Board at all.
I didn't know man. I didn't know sir. My main started with Bulldog first. I said no kind erroneous. December in GH. A lot of activity. There's whole in the last couple of years, they actually provide an itinerary, a timetable.
Yes.
For events because within that period. I can assure you, so 80 to 90% of our events organized in your support from our bank.
How about
on December?
How about the 10%?
Maybe.
Yeah, say
don't come and do assumptions. Show data.
Relax,
I thought you said you don't believe in data.
Please
said that.
All right.
Please. Did I say that to you?
Arnold is on the floor.
So say
submit on time.
me say any dey send dey our process now anko yi and na say we feel say
say ebinum
man say 100%. Okay. This is 80 to 90.
The same thing I said.
It's all starts now say no support from my bank. Yes. I'm pushing all that's okay. Saturday event.
Yes.
So it was many more question you created.
And many more.
To the point where NDC for omenya funding, omenya supporting me from December GH fund. Don't go there.
Maybe I try NDC for.
NDC for Ben.
NDC for
Ben. Mention.
Maybe I try why mu nenya fund.
You can't just say anything as you want
to. Intimidate you,
who tell me say
yes, constantly.
Let's
so back on
I don't know you are aware.
I am telling you for a fact.
Don't say that. And we cannot sit here for you to be saying that.
Do
you know what facts are?
This year, why nenya?
Do you know what facts are? Well, we trade in English, so don't say facts when you don't even have data to support what you're saying.
Empress, my mentor also.
About your tears.
Say me try say na make say NDC anya hwe my industry we there. And na me twantro. O my name bebre my industry. Critical the ministry no setting e happen. Na tourism like Sammy Gyamfi. Chieftaincy, culture, and the creativity and the womb. And it took a while.
What's I can almost send me messages. Obisi mi bisa say BIM concerts.
Thank you.
If you are live.
Thank you.
Manifest.
Thank you.
Made in Daddy.
Thank you.
Rapaholic. Choba experience. Beyond the then I didn't have blood. Maybe. Promised land. Nina bigger than us.
Thank you.
Wait. So or back on or can one I dream one as well provided with the timetable
timetable.
Now someone's watching
Timetable. This year timetable. Boo me pacho.
Once it comes from the ministry, timetable there. Yes.
Okay.
But that is a lie.
Oh,
you don't want to say that. There's a list we suck on you don't get nothing. You saying that?
Get support from government.
So not necessarily qualifies for the 80 to 90%.
You say if there's a list, it means the list just money.
I'm going.
They get money.
What you want more record?
Yes.
Ola said an interview PRO.
Thank you.
Of GTA.
Yes.
Okay.
On government support for December engaged. And he said government only provides an enabling environment, no money.
Thank you.
That's what I just said.
It is not true.
Obey you.
No, I'm only saying
it's okay.
Masa, yeah, probably
Okay,
that's unfair.
I won't let you destroy.
I'm not flawed.
Okay.
Mama yentie no. Oh, questions of enyamu no obi some questions. Obi sa lawyer, mama ni bisa no.
No, all respond.
Okay. Greeting.
Yes, me applaud NDC for maybe na NFA was CCA Juliet Asante you do more akotia ya a lot of events programs and say seminar bino based on film classification act in this for so a lot of achievements we are article CCA no agency no wom CCA tell me there into dispute so bon ambasso for nyama bisa but now Sammy will can be about the facts which I felt a contentious kakra no your industry now feel say nose dive now okoya my example say things we do for love say you know their drama series we were and matches are you know friends and things we do for love no buy but I can dispute that and let you know say in the last couple of years no, the same gentleman now produce things we do for love no I produce YOLO and I'm sure you've heard about YOLO and YOLO in the last couple of years now I built a lot of huge following to the point where Ivan Kwashiga has been able to put, or not Kwasa an app, farmhouse streaming app, a projected in a series no to that to the rest of the world. So clearly, you know, a lot of inroads. Music, I'm glad that one Kasawa accepted the fact that the music videos no can improvement will be abim. Bulldog is here. Improvement will be abima. They can showcase our music videos anywhere on any channel in the world. Now. You were excited when we were talking about the $2 million or $3 million scanner music, but it will interest you to note say same scanner industry for ninja because they feel say the obo edit scanner one of the biggest critics A+ because of the fact say oh sorry I mean in our industry match until what they excite man but industry for no because they believe say more misdirected where the funding should go. Yes. Now, call Tiathana ex-president Mahama a promise the folks in Kumasi. Now, for me, I believe say a albatross on ex-president Mahama and the Kong because the explanation I'm more mind for the non-fulfillment of our promise no and yet convincing me because what can be about the fact say Sikano Amba. So what's the guarantee? Say mobile being one. Yes, same excuse we say scano amba and I say you funding to actually do that project. There was a report 2012 Manifesto promises any the number of fulfillment are a course. And I agree with you. Say any manifesto promises me bit me fulfill. But the reports about after 2012 no say ex-president Mahama a promise 203 promises. Or to me fulfilling 77 amounted to
by
but online with me actually.
No, buy.
Anybody
can
also
put
online.
Yeah.
So
because that report
no, so you are
questionable.
Okay.
No,
Yeah,
that
we
was
said
coming
coming
from somebody like you.
Please, on the lawyer.
I told Arnold that I listened to him.
No. Say Ghana tie. A buyer and dispute.
Oh, no,
yeah. Once you dispute it, I don't have a problem. I'm only
Okay.
But the report you're talking about, where is it
giving you
coming
the
from?
source. You can Google it.
No, which source?
Google it. You see it and you read it from it.
Google what? Google
source. Pastor, because they will not destroy.
Oh no.
But Pastor, me name say what in June we are explain the Mahama Asia in the creative no AH hotel. And in July we meet the media. I think say July meeting no and on really black star experience no. Good. Now at the AH hotel meeting no or committed 22 policies say obey my industry no. Now in August and a manifesto no bar out. Now semi peruzu sa documents we nyina mu a me say promises and as a commitments no endorse. And so you also realize say in some now say 22 commitments now or the man or AH hotel no e be eba manifesto no e be unreflected. Even the black star experience now in July or really no mutu kine kakra and I'm share manifesto. So the question I want to ask you the first one is are we supposed to hold him accountable for every commitment away, whether it was at the AH hotel one, the black star experience one, and that's a manifesto name? Because general public domain to proclaim so obey we say I'm an industry. Now a key my industry and right alcohol because I do not need to go into the benefits and the advantage of what the film village will do for us. But it's quite intriguing. Say oko commitment no and as a policy no the construction is a bit dicey. And listen very carefully, boss. Must say to pursue the dream of establishing a film village, get equipment at low cost for filmmakers. Patrol. Underline to pursue the dream. The reason I'm saying a dicey is say there's a difference between pursuing a dream and actually establishing a project. That's what I say. Because it could take you 10 years in your pursuance of that dream, then that dream will not be fulfilled. Intention come better because in the commitment, no, okay, say to pursue the dream of establishing. But I say we clarify, mommy, because your narration, no one can pursuance of dream. Okay, say mobile. Good. My kind of manifesto. Na nema biye me na kakra. Because no, the first point and a manifesto no loaded. Plus can be say mutumi ye nema we nyina bebo industry. No dispute about it. But biye me na kakra wo manifesto. Number one. The first one mostly integrated cultural and economic empowerment. And that's how number one we nyema wo mu no endorse. What piques my interest number one we are saying cultural villages. And this is what you actually said. Vibrant centers for showcasing Ghana's heritage, a hub for content creation. It was number one, integrated cultural and economic empowerment. However, number three, which is inclusive cultural participation and protection. Under that provision, mostly we will partner with the private sector to build an ultramodern creation village with auditoriums for films, musical concerts, and other special events. Now, in my mind, and based on my English knowledge, cultural village number one is almost the same or the same as the one number three. So, my name said a repetition. And as
I'll show you look at them.
and you look at
It's just a runner.
oh, ready. And I said,
can you repeat the second one?
okay. So the second one.
Yeah.
Okay, so the second one or the second one number three, inclusive cultural participation and protection. So another one, mostly you partner with the private sector to build an ultramodern creation village with auditoriums for film, musical concerts, and other special events. Now, when I go to one, the other one is same culture, and put them more specific. Cultural village, vibrant centers of showcasing Ghana's heritage, hub for content creation. Similar.
I think the difference there is the partnership.
Oh, me pacho.
Yes, that's true.
Yeah, the partnership with private sector.
So are you explaining?
Boo.
I'm just saying, sorry.
Backing vocal.
Me pacho. There's another one we were where a war ex-president Mahama ne policies man so me be here clarity kakra. Number 19 20 out of the 22 we also provide amusement parks. Just like that. Provide amusement parks. As to how, where, when no that
in the manifesto.
No. And tell me before I'm coming in and make us say, can we hold him accountable for every committee? This one is from the 8 policies.
From his speech.
From the 20, not the speech. On my 22 policies are so obey.
And where you saw say it ended at amusement parks.
Also
You saw it from a speech or from what?
From the
or from a media report?
No.
There
was a provision of pointers of by the 22 provisions are so obey. This was before the manifesto. That's why I said
No, you see, I want you to clarify, was that expression or written in his speech and it ended at amusement parks?
Yes.
Or you are making reference to a media report, like a publication of what he said? So it could well be say your reporter story, no? So it may not necessarily be say maybe in the speech he ended there. You get my point?
Yeah.
That's
I sorry paying way.
But your last one.
So
you don't mind you look at last one. You put your question. It just says you can reject our opinion way. Say campaign way. Dr. Bawumia, the strongest point, agreeable, has been on digitalization and all that stuff. But intriguingly, whom manifesto, there are 2 things that piqued my interest. Again, and number 1, must say you mobile significant investment in capacity building and digital platform to further empower artists with the skills to create commercially viable content and thrive in a digital world. I'm only thinking aloud. Say, this gentleman is the campaigner is based on digitalization.
So are we trying to copy him?
I'm not saying so.
Like is that
an endorsement of
that digitalization?
Good. And you see one corner. Go to last one.
Arnold.
I say the same partner.
Arnold.
Number 2.
I say about 4.
Yeah, we say last one. So still part of the endorsing his campaign message. Number 2 of one moment manifesto for the industry now. Number 2, under tourism infrastructure and experience enhancement policy. The NDC administration will introduce digital tourism platforms offering real-time online database and virtual reality tour that offers interactive experiences for Ghana's most treasured sites. Must say this digitalization effort will broaden the reach of Ghana's tourism offerings and sustainably put Ghana on the map. But that's it.
So in summary, we are talking about digital solutions and platforms to promote tourism. Yes, sir.
MPP for
Khemical TV, Khemical TV, anything goes. Khemical TV, for quality entertainment. Khemical TV, at the room.